Okay, so we're going to look at creating a map in TILOS from information that we've got in Excel. So in this cell here, this is a distance cell, and we've also got in the graphics library a section called symbols, where we've made a whole series of symbols that match the ones that we have in diagrams provided by High Output. So first of all, we need to collect some information, so we need to go away and find a document like this that displays a map, or ask our colleagues, or find some premier source of information. And we can see here, for example, that we've got an overbridge at 72 metres 49 chains at Gratley Station. So we need to make a list of that information, and we're making a list and we're putting it in a Excel document, and this Excel document has been provided to you. If you haven't got it, let me know. And on the left hand side in column 1, we've got all of the items that are in the symbol library in TILOS. So the idea being that, and all of the items that are yellow, the only ones that you need to edit. Everything else has been set to give a good result. So for this example, I'm going to say that we've got, we're going to copy this set of cells and we're going to put it in here, and we're going to say that this is the upline, and it starts in my particular example at 72 miles 800 yards. So we're not using chains, and we're not putting an end distance, we're putting how long it is. So it's 3 miles and 400 yards long, and that's our upline. So we've also got a downline that we want to draw, and it's going to be in exactly the same place, of course, but it's in a different vertical position, which we'll talk about more later. And then if I look down here, we've got an OB, stands for overbridge. We take one of these, copy it up here, and then we say what's the name of it that we're going to know it by, and from our diagram we can see that that was Gratley Street, and its position is at 72 miles and 1078 yards, and we know that it's 40 yards wide because that gives us a good graphic. So we go round filling in this sheet, and I've prepared one earlier, and so here's one we've made earlier. So we're going to copy, once we've made this list, we copy the whole area to the clipboard, and then we go back to TILOS, and in this section here we right mouse click and we say that we want to import the symbols from the clipboard. So we need to now make sure that these rules in this dialog, so in column 1 we're going to import the symbol name. So we've got to make sure the first time you do it that the symbol name, the start point, the width, and are in the right column reference. So just double check that the first time you do it. Second time you do it, we'll have remembered that. So when we say OK, it's going to look up in our symbol library, and if it finds that symbol name, it's going to draw it on the diagram. So if we zoom in on that so we can see it better, we can have a look at what these symbols sort of mean. And so this is a cell, remember, and this cell has got some layers. So we've got a text layer, a track, over, and under layer. So all of which are displayed. So I might want to take the text that is related to Gratley Street. I can't really read that. I might want to just nudge that onto the right hand side. I've got two going on at the same point here, so I might want to just move that one out of the way, and perhaps select this one and just shift it to the left a little bit, or maybe I want to make it my own size and scale that myself so that we can get that in view. So you might want to play around with the text, but when you're finished you want to make all of this inactive, so we can no longer, or somebody else can no longer edit it, except we're going to have a look at that now. So so I want to explain how things are positioned where they are. So let's take this box here, which is the work site. So in the library of symbols there is an item called work site, and in our spreadsheet we've also got an item called work site. So at the bottom here, and that's positioned at 73 miles 660 for 1 mile 540, and if we just scroll that across you can see that on screen. So here it's 73 miles 660, and here it's 1 mile 540. So it's put that information in, but it's also said that it's at 50 and 20, so it's 50% of the way down the screen and it's 20% deep. So 0 is at the top, and I think I can draw something on screen at this point, so just bear with me. Choose a pen colour, let's say blue. So what we're saying here is that this cell has got a height, and we're saying that this is at 0% and this is 100%. So in our looking at our worksite area, this point here is 50, it's 70, it's 20 deep, so this point here is 70, and that's how the system draws the information. So if we were to make the cell bigger or shorter, it's going to move in proportion to itself. So if we were to change this to 10, so it would be at the top and it would be 20 deep. So we had that at 50. So so let's take another symbol. If we scroll to the right, we've got this symbol here, and this is a access point, and that's at 75 140. So in our library here, in this spreadsheet, in fact we've got 2 of them, which was a mistake, but it's at 75 mile 140 and it's at 15 and 20. But if we wanted that to be on the bottom of the track, if we scroll along to the left hand side here, I've provided some information that on this row here it says that this is above the top of the track. If you want to position it below the track, use y equals 85 and the height is minus 20. So if we were to say that this was at 85, so that puts it at the bottom, and the length is minus 20, it'll flip it upside down and you'll see it at the right place. This was a duplicate, so we could get rid of that. So that's how we edit those bits of information. Of course you might experiment with this and want to do 1 or 2 things and it goes wrong, and re-import it, and that's fine. It's not going to override what's there. So the thing to do first is to select one thing, use Control A to select everything, hit the delete key to remove everything, and then you can re-import that information again. If you don't want to see that, you don't have to put anything in there. But if you look lower down in this view, there's another cell that I've created a graphic legend inside, and it's inactive. You can't change it, but of course you could make it inactive. But it's part of this view, and as part of this view we can hide a cell. So if you don't want to see the legend, you can click on the hidden box and it won't be there, and if you want to show it, you can unhide it and it will be there. So it really depends on what you want to do. So that's how we create a map in TILOS, and we have that information on the clipboard through Excel in the right information. We copy it to the clipboard and we go back to TILOS, we right mouse click on this point, import from the clipboard, job done. Move the text a little bit and then make it inactive. So that's how we do it with TILOS, and I'm sure you'll have success. If I can help, do let me know.